Just get us started with thoughts on today's scrimmage.
All in all, I think the exercise was, again, positive. To stretch the guys to 75 minutes. Everybody played 75 minutes after playing 60 on Saturday and looking to play another 75 or 90 on this Saturday. We know it's a difficult stretch for us, but it's important that we build fitness. And like I said, all in all, I was pleased with the performances.
How have you seen so far with the fitness of your players, especially some of the new guys who maybe didn't go through the same training program you've meant for the guys coming back?
With all the guys that returned that were here last year and had training programs, they all did a fantastic job. A couple of the newer guys are a little bit off, but I think have worked extremely hard to get themselves to a place where they're pretty level now with a couple of weeks remaining. So it's important that we continue to work over these next several weeks because we know there's still a lot to be done.
How's the health of the team in terms of fitness?
Good in general. In general, of course, today we got a couple of little niggling things that we're concerned with, so we'll have to be very mindful of those. And now the work for this week is really literally just for the guys to recover between today and the next training exercise that'll be Saturday.
Did you get a chance to see Dom play today?
Yep. Dom played the first 45 minutes, looked a little rusty, but was willing to work and run and put in the fitness that we needed him to get, and hopefully we'll build on this for Saturday.
Chris Mueller, another guy who's impressed in these preseason scrimmages. Does he remind you a little bit of a young version of Jason Kreis when you first got on the scene?
Yeah, he does. I couldn't be happier with what he's all about. I knew from the moment I spoke to him at the combine that he reminded me of me. He has a bit of a chip on his shoulder, and I think he has a feeling that he's got a lot of people to prove wrong, and I think that's a terrific quality to have.
When you have someone like that who so closely resembles you, what type of advice can you give them?
I'll be giving him a lot. There's been some tactical and some technical advice so far, but one of the things that he does that I think is probably better than any forward that we have right now actually is how much he's willing to run. How many times he's willing to just make runs that may be completely sacrificial and for somebody else, but he continues to be willing to do it, and I think that's a difficult, if not impossible, thing to teach. So the rest of it we can work with.
Are you beginning to see guys develop chemistry, not just as a unit, but with each other? Like, for example, Sasha and Chris seem to play really well off of each other. Are you seeing more of that?
Yeah, there's definitely some combinations in and amongst the team that you see are starting to develop. But as a whole, I just think that the team this year, to me, feels like it's miles ahead of where we were last year from a camaraderie and a togetherness and a tactical awareness and connectedness as we play. They're doing a great job.
Talk about camaraderie and awareness and everything. I mean, is it difficult to build that with so many new faces? Did you expect this at all?
It is. I think it is difficult, and it's one of those things that it can be considered so abstract that you kind of have a hard time figuring out how you can develop those things. But I think we're very fortunate that we brought in a member on our staff last year who does a lot of that work for us and helps us think about things a little bit different way from a coaching staff perspective. So the contributions of Guillermo Sanchez have been really, really important to that for us this year.
Coach Dylan Powers talked about how he's had conversations with the staff about having a bigger voice and perhaps a bigger role this year with the team. Can you just talk about what you have in mind for him this year?
Yeah, I think, again, from my perspective, Dylan is a player that entered the league with a tremendous amount of potential, a tremendous amount of promise, and then fulfilled that over the first couple of years in the league with what he was able to do and how much he was able to contribute, both from a performance standpoint as well as statistical standpoint. And then I think it's fair to say, and I don't think he would disagree, over the last couple of years he's had a bit of a downturn. And so this is an important year for him. And it's a year that he is going to need to step up and show that he's willing and wants to do more. Because I think he has the ability to do more, and I think over the past, certainly when he was with us last year, I thought he just took too much of a bystander role. And he's capable of doing a whole lot more, and he needs to do it.
Sasha said you guys have been doing a good job of controlling the possession and maintaining that shape. But when you lose the ball, how have you seen your team react and maintain the defensive form?
The reactions have been very, very good. The initial reactions to when we lose the ball, the first couple of seconds, guys are having a very positive reaction all over the park. And then I think when we're in our defensive third, we're actually doing a fantastic job as well, limiting the number of clear-cut chances and just shots on goal through collective awareness and a little bit of tactics.
I think the objective you said for this week, or for this preseason match, was how you guys did with the ball. What did you see today?
A little better, not a lot better. A little better, and I know realistically that's a difficult objective to set when we played on Saturday and we're turning around at this point of the season 3 or 4 days later. But I still think it's something that we continue to focus on, because from my point of view it could have been a bit sharper. And I think once it is a little bit sharper, we're gonna be doing some special things.
You talked about communication along the back line. Did you see that also continue to improve today? Super
job from both goalkeepers. All 3 goalkeepers that played in the exercise today did a great job with that. The center backs, great job with that. Really, I think everybody is buying into this idea that we've got to communicate more. Looks really good from my point of view.